This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
Okay, hoping that you are fine. How many stones do you need to hit two birds in opposite direction?
Pardon?
How many stones do you need to hit two birds in opposite direction?
Accordingly.
Okay, I'll help you. How does social media how social media exhibitions help to change the mindsets of the corrupted officials?
If you had paid keen attention, you'd have understood.
It's okay. Do you believe in joint effort? Yes or no?
I believe in joint
Thank
effort.
you. Who are the exhibitors?
Pardon?
Who are the exhibitors?
Pardon?
Okay. Who are the exhibitors?
There?
Okay. Are online exhibitions credible? Yes or no?
Yes.
They're credible. Are you aware that social media exhibitions alone require a lot of time resource, thus reducing its effectiveness?
No.
You're not aware. Are you aware that social media alone does not solve the root cause of corruption? Yes or no?
Accordingly.
Okay, according. So, did you prove how social media exhibitions alone terminate the cause of corruption, being mindsets of corrupted officials? Yes or no?
Pardon, your question is not closely ended, therefore it's invalid.
No problem. Is prevention better than cure? Yes or no?
Accordingly.
Accordingly. Is following SOPs better than treatment? Yes
Pardon?
or no?
Pardon?
Is following SOPs better than treatment? Yes or no?
According.
Yes, according to me. Do you believe that physical engagement is a direct way to change people's mindset on corruption?
No.
Yes or no? You
No.
don't believe. Do you believe that changing mindsets is better than waiting for cases to be posted on social media? Yes or no?
No.
You don't believe. Would you prioritize leading a child the right way compared to punishing them when in wrong? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. Did you present points to protect misinformation, evaluation and monitoring of information from your credible sources? Yes or no?
Yes.
How? You
We-
don't know. You may rest your case. Dear panel, thank you. Now, panel, they talked about root causes of corruption. Dear panel, we all know that the root cause of corruption is majorly one, people's mindset, isn't it? And we know that the only way you can change people's mindset is not through posting it on social media, but it's through you meeting them physically. And as our current speakers talked about, right now we are having advocacy offline in schools. For example, we are having schools teaching patriotism, we are having schools having patriotism clubs, we are having schools teaching against corruption, and we are grooming a generation of more than 10 years to come. Meaning 10 years to come, at least we have an assurance that the people coming in office are not corrupt. But these people are waiting to see more corrupt people so that they now post it on social media and say that, you know what, these people are corrupt. And by then, when they do that, they did not tell us how the government is going to be able to evaluate misinformation. I can go and post that my colleague is corrupt, but when they are not corrupt, so those are things we fail to get. Dear panel, Team Affirmative came and told us that social media is a catalyst. A catalyst speeds up a reaction. They did not tell us what does it speed up, but they told us it speeds up the end of corruption. So why should we say that something that speeds up the end of corruption is a priority? It means that it helps to fight corruption, but it does not end corruption. That is why, dear panel, we are coming to say that a multi-pronged approach, having the online and offline advocacy, is the best and most effective. Reason being that someone who is not able to access social media and someone who is able to access social media are all going to be able to advocate for the end of corruption, meaning we are budgeting for 100% of the total population of Uganda. So we want to know where are they living, the current population of Uganda. If at all they're only going to look at people who are able to post. And here, since they did not tell us that social media is going to change the root cause, so we do not give them a stand. Dear panel, they tell us that they talk about the parliamentary exhibitions. According to Daily Monitor of Tuesday, 12th March 2024, in an interview with Esther Luka, we believe that the Mrs. Agatha Tuhairi, the journalist, was asked, and then she said that it was not planned before. So how are non-planned exhibitions going to end social media? I beg to rest my case.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results by Albert Esther. If you understand English, why would you wait for someone to be corrupt? This one is going to scare the corrupt officials, which you have not actually understood.
Therefore, I wouldn't wait
Let
for
me
them.
ask you a question. Is corruption a current problem or a future problem? Yes or no?
It is a current problem.
Very good. Are you a Ugandan?
I am a Ugandan.
Very good. That means you understand that we have potholes in Kampala. That means you understand that there are hashtags that were posted on social media platforms that actually solved this problem. That means you have not been paying attention to our first speaker from the affirmative side, I want to ask you a question. Did you say you want to use online and offline advocacy?
Yes, of course.
The fact that you want to use two things, we have comparative, we have separative, we have more, and we have most. That means that between online and offline, you're not sure on what you want to use. So as the affirmative side, we take that you want to use online as the best. Therefore, this debate will win because you have said that you want to use online and offline. So we are not sure of what you want to use.
I beg your pardon?
I'm asking you. You said you want to use online and offline advocacy, right?
Yes, I said
that means you're not sure of what you want to do in this debate.
It
you
is
want
a
to use online and offline.
approach.
And we have more and most. That means that of the two, there is one that you want to use more or most, and you're not sure. So we take online
both
as your best opportunity. Is social media an extra effective tool for alerting corrupt officials?
I beg your pardon?
Is social media an extra effective tool for alerting corrupt officials?
Basing on 2.3 million Ugandans, it is not, because we have a
It
lot
was
of
a
people
yes
that are
or
not
a no.
able.
It was a yes or a no.
So
Is
it is
response
not.
to danger delayed? Response denied?
I beg your pardon?
Is response to danger delayed? Response denied?
I beg your pardon?
If someone delays to respond to you, let me respond for you. If someone delays to respond to you, that means they have denied you the response on that matter. Therefore, you're denying Ugandans the appeal to the courts. You're denying them the ability to respond to what they have to respond to. That means you're denying them the right to freedom and speech. On this matter, therefore, we win this debate because these guys came here and they told us that they are using both online and offline advocacy as a affirmative side of today. We are not clear on what they want to use. Are they using offline? Are they using online? They are not sure. They have come here and created propagandas, and they are coming here telling us, the members of parliament, and creating the debate as if it is an individual basis debate. No, we are saying that once we use social media is going to be an alerting tool. What do we say? If these people are not alerted, if these people are in public offices are not alerted on what to do, that means even what they want to do, they are not going to do it. That means all their activities are going to be let down because the public opinions are being ignored in this case. If they are not aware that Article 225 of the 1995 Constitution obligates the citizens to report corruption officers, that's why they are here to talk and give us propagandas in this debate. The fact that they were not listening to us when our first speaker gave our hashtags, which were the Kampala exhibition potholes that were posted on all social media platforms, they come here and they tell us that they are going to use all of them, yet all of them have been in place. Yet if their measures have been in place, have they worked? No. Corruption has not reduced, and it's not reducing. The fact that these people have not been able to reduce corruption, they are not creating propagandas. We are bringing a new way of curbing corruption, which they have actually failed to talk about. They are not engaging the public via social media platforms. The youth are the most people who can access social media platforms, but they are not engaging the youth. That means that in this debate they have failed because they have failed to show us what clearly they want in this state. They have failed to tell us what they are going to do. If what they have already done has failed, what are you doing next? What is the best thing that you have done on this matter? Therefore, I encourage the negators to come and join us so that we can fight corruption via social media platforms.
This was a good debate. Delving into the discussion, I'm going to go straight to where I drew my line from. So, Team Affirmative, your argument is that social media platforms are actually the most effective way of fighting corruption. Now, Team Negative, your argument is online and offline engagement. Okay. Now, Team Affirmative comes up, and their entire role in this entire debate is to show us that with social media, we can fight corruption. With social media alone, we can fight corruption. Team Negative comes up and says, no, just like you defined social media and said it is a catalyst, it is merely aiding the fight to corruption. However, it is not exhaustive in the fight to do with corruption. Okay. Now, Team Negative comes up and asks a question and says, on the 45 million Ugandans in Uganda, only 2.9 million Ugandans can access social media. So, with your argument that it is the most effective way of fighting corruption, so I'm looking at 2.9 out of 45 vis-a-vis most effective. Okay? And for me, I waited for you people to rebut this. Like I said from the start, this was a beautiful debate where both of you fronted out very beautiful arguments. And it is actually on the fourth speaker's speech, Team Affirmative, that I made my decision from. Now, fourth speaker, first of all, you dodged questions, okay? Saying accordingly is not answering questions. It's like asking you and then you say it depends. On what?
For a resolution like this one, now let me make it clear. There are some resolutions that can be argued as policy. There are some resolutions that can be argued as value. Let me now teach you. In today's resolution, this is a resolution that one team could argue as value. This is also a resolution that one team could argue as policy. One team could argue it as value in such a way. You argue it as a value in comparison of the exhibition on different social media towards the ending of corruption amidst other alternatives you would use. You could argue it as a policy in this way. We are looking at fronting. Yes, there is a lot of ongoing social media platform, but it is not legal. It is not authenticated. So you can make it policy by advocating for its implementation or by advocating for its legality. Number 3, if you are to argue this resolution as a value now, there are always outstanding expense words in a value resolution. Now, what was the most outstanding expense word in today's resolution? Most effective. Meaning, Team Affirmative is coming, as Team Affirmative is giving their case, for them that is their most effective. Now, we expect a Team Negative to actually come up with a platform that you believe, or an alternative that you believe is the most effective vis-a-vis the alternative that this side has given. Now, that one does not mean that you cannot appreciate the fact that yes, the alternative your opponents have given can be effective, but we are now looking at the most effective. Okay, for example, Team Negative came up and they were like, okay, you have talked about the ongoing social media exhibition. Yes, it is effective, but it is not the most effective. Now, personally, I liked the fact that Team Negative, you are able to come up with an alternative. But then Team Affirmative came up and they asked you a question. Okay, if you are including even online platforms to be part of it, which will include social media, then don't you feel that it is actually serving its effectiveness? So personally, I base this debate on the ability of a team to give me the most effective or the most expansioning factor to qualify the value they're advocating for. So, personally, I feel the alternative Team Affirmative gave me was outstanding, and I give it to them.
Now, let's talk about the debate, right? The two judges have already analyzed your issues on... my debate zeroed down on 2 duties of the negative team. So the affirmative team gave us an argument that was... on the benefit of using social media to fight corruption. Clearly, Judge Solomon has told you that the key word in today's resolution is most effective, right? Now, that by default gives them a burden to prove that beyond any other means, social media is by far better in fighting corruption and therefore most effective. It gives you also a burden on your end to prove that by all means, social media is one, not the most effective, but there is a most effective way of fighting such corruption. So I zeroed this debate down to a second duty of a second duty in the debate. Now, duty 2 is for the affirmative team. Now, the affirmative team, by all means, you have a burden to show us that whatever alternative is given by the negative team, it does not suit your case. The other negative team's duty I'm talking about that zeroed down to my judgment is the negative team has a primary duty, to rebut the case you bring on table. Now, your case was we are going to use social media, and basically because it is citizen involving, it involves everyone. Now that brings you to Judge Doreen's case. She tells you that they highlight that 2.9 million people are the only ones using social media. And as such, you cannot claim that it is the most effective because it does not involve 44 million citizens of Uganda, it just involves 2 million. Now, two duties. One, you drastically fail. Two, you drastically excel. My judgment. I felt like, of the two duties, which one is lesser? The negative team has a burden, first of refutation, then alternative case. And it is in that order. So I felt like, since they have succeeded on the duty of refuting the case, as against the duty of bringing a counterclaim, they were by a slight standard above the affirmative team. For those reasons, my vote goes to the negative team. Thank you. So it is not a unanimous decision on a split ballot of 2-1. The negative team wins the debate.